Hello family, before we dive into this explosive update from the streets of Durban, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with everyone you know. What's going down in South Africa's coastal city is not just shocking, it's downright unbelievable. This is not your ordinary news story, this is pure chaos, drama, and a ticking time bomb that could blow at any moment. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear might shake you to your core. Durban, one of South Africa's busiest and most vibrant cities, has turned into a battleground. The latest chaos erupted like wildfire when illegal immigrants from Somalia and Ethiopia clashed with local law enforcement during what was supposed to be a routine medical outreach at a public clinic in the city center. Yes, you heard that right, things went completely off the rails over free healthcare. But before you roll your eyes thinking this was just a few loud arguments and some pushing and shoving, let me stop you right there. We're talking tear gas, rubber bullets, stones flying, ambulances dodging crowds, and police trying to hold the line against an angry, determined group of undocumented foreign nationals who believe they are being denied services they're entitled to. According to multiple eyewitnesses, the situation spiraled out of control when healthcare workers at the clinic began prioritizing South African citizens who had queued up since the early hours of the morning. Reports say that a large group of undocumented immigrants from Somalia and Ethiopia showed up demanding to be treated first, claiming they were part of a refugee community and should be given immediate access to medical services. When they were told they needed to produce valid IDs or asylum documents, the mood shifted dramatically. Some say it started with shouting. Others say someone threw a bottle. What followed next was total mayhem. Within minutes, the entire area was in chaos. Videos circulating on social media show police officers using batons and shields to hold back the crowd, while rocks and bottles were hurled in every direction. Local shop owners slammed their doors shut. Mothers screamed as they grabbed their children. Cars were turned around in panic. The entire scene looked like something out of a war zone. And in the middle of it all, questions started flying. Why are illegal foreigners demanding free healthcare? Who is letting them in? And what is the government doing to protect South Africans? This wasn't an isolated incident either. Over the past few months, Durban has seen a growing tension between local citizens and undocumented immigrants, particularly from East Africa. Many locals are fed up. They're angry that foreigners are flooding clinics, hospitals, and job markets while the average South African is left behind, unemployed and struggling to access even the most basic services. People are saying they've had enough. And judging by the intensity of the backlash, that frustration is reaching boiling point. But here's where things get even more disturbing. According to police sources, several of the foreign nationals involved in the clash were found carrying fake asylum documents and fraudulent medical files. It's believed that a syndicate is operating in the area, helping illegal immigrants forge IDs and medical records so they can bypass the system. And guess what? Some of these fake documents were allegedly issued inside the clinics themselves. This has raised alarms at the highest levels of local government and sparked calls for a full investigation. Now let's pause and reflect. What we're seeing here is not just a conflict over healthcare. It's a direct clash between a state trying to enforce its rules and a desperate group of people who feel they have nowhere else to turn. But in the middle of it all is the South African taxpayer, the ordinary citizen who pays for the roads, the hospitals, the schools, and the clinics, and who now has to compete for space in their own country. Where's the justice in that? Citizens who were present at the scene were vocal in their outrage. One woman, a mother of 3, stood crying in front of a news camera saying, "We sleep outside just to be first in the line, and these people just come and push in and say they must be treated first. Where is the law?" Another man shouted, "We are not xenophobic, we are just tired of being treated like second-class citizens in our own land." Meanwhile, government officials are walking a tightrope. On one hand, they must uphold international obligations to refugees and asylum seekers. On the other hand, the electorate is demanding answers, and fast. Some opposition politicians have seized the moment, calling for stricter border controls and accusing the ruling party of turning a blind eye to illegal immigration for years. One fiery opposition leader even declared, "This is what happens when you have a government that prioritizes votes over national security." These clashes will become the norm if we don't act now. But there's also another side to the story. Some human rights groups argue that the immigrants involved are simply desperate people fleeing war, famine, and persecution in their home countries. They argue that denying them healthcare is a violation of basic human rights, and that the blame should fall not on the migrants but on corrupt systems that fail everyone. It's a complex situation, with no easy answers. As the dust settles in Durban, the question remains, how much longer can South Africa afford to carry the burden of a broken immigration system? With hospitals overwhelmed, unemployment soaring, and public trust in the government at an all-time low, this incident could be the spark that lights a nationwide fire. Communities are restless. Political temperatures are rising. And the fear of more violent confrontations is very, very real. This is no longer just about Durban. It's about the soul of a country struggling to define who it serves and who it protects. And unless bold action is taken soon, the chaos we saw this week might be just the beginning. South Africa is standing on a knife's edge, and everyone, from the highest officers in Pretoria to the smallest clinic in Durban, is now part of the story. So what do you think? Was this clash an act of desperation or a blatant abuse of South Africa's generosity? Is the government doing enough to protect its people, or has the system completely collapsed under the weight of illegal immigration? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video, and let's keep the conversation going. Because one thing's for sure, this isn't the last time we'll hear about chaos in Durban. Make sure to subscribe for more breaking stories and raw truths from across South Africa. Until next time, stay safe, stay sharp, and stay woke.